Okay, now let's take a look at Reckless Deck Worlds. That's the tuck box design for it right there. I think our designer really knocked it out of the park with this one. I am so into this cover image. I hope you guys like it too. For those of you who don't know, the Worlds deck is the environment and world building deck. So if you're an environmental concept artist, or you like to do fantasy landscape art, or you're maybe a game designer or a writer who is into world building, this is the idea generator that's going to really help you out with that. Here's a look at the Worlds deck instruction card. Comes with a little symbol guide, little creation systems, how to use it, and also a definition of what all the categories do right there. Worlds has 6 categories, and then the Civilizations expansion pack is included in this as well, which we will totally get to. Worlds also comes with an art card. In this case, Richard Anderson's art from our Kickstarter. And here's a look at the gold foil card back design right there. Now let's take a look at the different card categories of Worlds. There are 6 categories altogether, the first of which is Biome, and that basically gives you the ecosystem of your world. Half of these biome cards are based on actual biomes that exist in environmental science, and the other half are fictional biomes that might exist in a fantasy world or some alternative environment type world. The next one is Weather. And weather, as you can imagine, gives you different kinds of weather for your environment, whether it be your art, your story, or whatever. Then there's Time of Day. The Time of Day cards are built around what might give you different lighting conditions for an artist, although they're still just equally useful for a writer. And then there's the Feature category, which is the largest category in the deck. This basically is the narrative element, the what's the actual thing in the picture category. These cards in this category actually mix and match with each other really nicely to build out an entire scene, or maybe like a primary or a secondary narrative element. Next is the Materials category. The next 2 categories deal with more the society that lives in the world. So the Materials category tells you what their primary building material might be, what stuff is made of. And the last category in Worlds is the Advancement category. And that is basically what's the level of technology of the society that lives in the world. Now we're going to take a closer look at how the Civilizations expansion plugs into the Worlds deck. You may have heard me say that the Civilizations expansion actually adds 2 new categories to Worlds, and it totally does do that. And it allows you to go further with the idea of who are the people that live here in this world. The first new category is Society, and this answers the question for you of what's the major descriptor of this new society or civilization. It gives you their kind of main talking point or the thing that they're most fixated on. The second category is called Catalyst. And this one tells you what's the defining moment in history for these people. What's the conflict that they're on the precipice of. And it's a really, really narrative-inspired category. It's really good for game designers or writers. Now, when you put these both together, what you end up with is a system, a creation system, that actually has 8 different categories. Half of which are really based more around the natural world, and the other half much more based on the civilization of the society that lives there.